One of the biggest takeaways from last week's quick chat with the LEX in Motion community is the common struggle we all seem to have with constitutional law. It's one of the hardest courses you'll have during the first semester of your first year in law school. Maraming bumabagsak sa constitutional law dahil isa ito sa mga pinaka-mabigat na subject ngayong semester. Kung hindi naman pinaka-mabigat dahil nandyan pa rin ang Statutory Construction. Pero lahat yan ay depende sa mga magiging professor mo. In tonight's episode, I'll be sharing with you 5 quick tips on how you can excel in constitutional law. All of this and more coming right up. Hi, my name is Lex and welcome to Lex in Motion. In this channel, I'll be helping you build your competence, confidence, and capability in law school. Start today by hitting the subscribe button below. New episodes are posted every Friday. Constitutional law is one of the hardest courses you will ever have in law school. And to a certain extent, it's also one of the easiest. This brings me to tip number 1. There is nothing difficult or technical about constitutional law. Nagiging mahirap lang siya dahil ito ay sadyang matrabaho. Once you let that sink in, kapatid, things will be much easier. Constitutional law is the least technical of the courses we have in law school. It is based almost entirely on the Constitution. Ang ating saligang batas ay nagsisilbing pundasyon ng lahat ng ating mga batas dahil dyan isinulat siya para sa lahat ng mga Pilipino. Hindi ito mahirap maintindihan. Nagiging mahirap lang ang constitutional law dahil ito ay matrabaho. Naroon na ikaw ay mabibigyan ng 35 to 50 cases kada meeting. Kung minalas-malas ka pa sa schedule at twice a week ang inyong klase, maaaring lumobo yan to 60 to 80 cases per week. Unique ang constitutional law cases dahil sa kanilang haba. Madalas din marami ang separate opinion sa tanungan pa ng iyong professor ay nasa dissenting opinions. Kung marami na ang kaso at mahaba pa, paano natin yan matatapos? This brings me to tip number 2. Focus on the doctrines. 35 to 50 cases per meeting is not an impossible feat. Most constitutional law cases focus on just a handful of doctrines per topic. There is very little variation on how the Supreme Court decides these cases. This is why you should focus on the doctrines. Dahil mahahaba ang mga kaso sa constitutional law, bibihira na magbabad ang ating mga professor sa mga detalye ng mga kaso, maliban na lang kung sobrang importante ng mga ito. Hindi tulad ng mga kaso sa civil procedure kung saan ang focus natin ay dapat nasa process at hindi rin tulad ng mga kaso sa criminal law kung saan kailangan nating maalala kung ano ang pinangsaksak, saan tinamaan, ilang beses tinamaan at ano ang kulay ng damit ng akusado. In constitutional law, the focus is rarely on the procedural matters or the fine details of the facts. The focus is almost always on the doctrines. During my time in law school, I took my time to read the arguments of the parties, then the ruling of the court. Hindi ko na pinag-aaksayan ng oras ang mga maliliit na detalye ng kaso dahil sa 35 to 50 cases nga kada meeting. Kadalasang itanong sa recitation ay, how did the court resolve the case of blah blah? Sa ganitong mga tanong sa recitation, sapat na maibigay ko kung kanino pumanig ang Supreme Court, bakit siya ang pinanigan at ano ang naging ruling ng court. Bonus na lang din kung may lalatag ko pa kung ano ang mga arguments ng parties at kaunting facts ng case. Tip number 3, do not be intimidated by the number of the cases you are assigned each meeting. When you begin to focus on the doctrines, you will also begin to see the patterns in constitutional law cases. Halos lahat ng doctrines umuulit lang. Nagkakaroon lang ng konting pagkakaiba sa mga facts, sa arguments, pero umuulit lang kung ano ang itinuturo sa atin ng Supreme Court. Tip number 3, do not be intimidated by the number of the cases you are assigned each meeting. When you begin to focus on the doctrines, you will also begin to see the patterns in constitutional law cases. Halos lahat ng doctrines umuulit lang. Nagkakaroon lang ng pagkakaiba sa mga facts, sa mga arguments, pero umuulit lang kung ano ang itinuturo sa atin ng Supreme Court. Madaling sukuan ng constitutional law dahil sa dami ng mga kaso, dahil sa haba ng mga kaso at sa paghahanap pa lang ng lahat ng mga dapat mong basahin para sa klase ay ubos na agad ang oras mo. Dagdag mo pa dito ang guilty feeling ng ilang libong puno ang nag-aalay ng kanilang mga buhay para makaprint ka lang ng mga kasong ikakabokya mo naman. My recommendation, kapatid, is for you to put your head down and just do the work. If you feel like giving up, promise yourself you can give up after the next case. If you still feel like giving up, then do one more case before you quit. Then one more case, and then another, until you find that you've already made your way to case number 27 or 28. Constitutional law takes work. Do the work and you will be rewarded. Hindi man sa recitation mo ngayon ay baka naman sa exam. Being able to read all of the assigned cases gives you the buff of confidence you will need to come to class. During the exam, just knowing that you've read every single case will give you all the confidence you will ever need. Tip number 4, think of the time you're spending right now as an investment for future courses. Constitutional law is the prerequisite for a lot of other courses in law school, such as administrative law, public international law, and election law. It's also one of those courses that overlap with others. What you will learn in Constitutional Law 1 and 2 you will take up again in Criminal Procedure, Evidence, Taxation, and Statutory Construction. Our cases in Constitutional Law have a tendency to have so many issues. Dito tayo madalas nalulunod. Ang dami ng issues, nagiging complicated ang kaso. Pero alin ba dito ang mahalaga? From time to time, you will encounter cases that pertain to judicial power. Pero meron niyang overlap sa rights of the accused, rules of evidence, and due process. If the case is assigned to you under judicial power, then read the doctrines pertaining to other topics but focus only on what is assigned. Kung sisipsipin mo lahat ng doctrine sa lahat ng kaso sa ilalim ng constitutional law, halimaw kang maituturing, kapatid, and I wish you all the best for the exams. For the rest of us mere mortals, it is enough that we master the case as and when they are assigned to us. This will save you a lot of time now and in the future. Mag-replay man ang kaso, pamilyar na tayo sa facts. Tip number 5, resist the temptation to read case digests from the internet. Someone else's reading and understanding of the case will be vastly different from how you will read and understand a case. Sabi ng isang professor namin noong araw, huwag daw magbasa ng digest ng may digest sa parehong paraan na huwag ngumuya ng ginuyana ng iba. Una, wala ng sustansya, at pangalawa, kadiri daw talaga. Remember, kapatid, that for every case the Supreme Court publishes, it is trying to teach us something new. The Supreme Court is adding to the greater body of legal knowledge. We're supposed to read the full text version in order to understand these lessons. We cannot rely on the limited understanding of the work of someone else. Finally, from time to time, you will be assigned cases that I like to call the generational cases, or decisions that have forever changed a particular generation of lawyers. Professors like to assign these cases to us because of the large impact these have had on their careers. For my professors, they assigned Haveliana versus Executive Secretary, isang solong skrayan sa law library, because it changed the way they thought of the legal profession. For your generation, these cases include Republic versus Sereno and Pimentel versus Legal Education Board. These are the cases that have had some direct impact on our lives. This brings me to my bonus tip tonight. Enjoy constitutional law. It is one of those subjects which has the closest and most direct effect on our lives. Constitutional law cases give us some unique perspective on history. Many years from now, you will also teach constitutional law, kapatid, and you will be assigning the cases of Chief Justice Sereno, the impact of the PhilSat on your law school journey, and the oral arguments that will be made on the anti-terror law. Right now, kapatid, you are enjoying the front row seat as history unfolds before us. In the same way, our professors may have enjoyed some casual debates on socially divisive issues during their time. One day, these moments will be part of history. Enjoy them now while you can. Constitutional law is the study of a living, breathing document written by the Filipino people for the Filipino people. No other law should be closer to our hearts than the Constitution. If you are in law school to help others, start with this. If you are in law school to build a better future, not only for yourself, but for others, start with constitutional law. Salamat kapatid kung inabot mo ang ending ng episode na to. Salamat din kung kahit papano ay may naidagdag ako sa pag-aaral mo ng constitutional law. If you would like to see more practical tips on how to pass different subjects in law school, please type yes in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Like and share this video for good law school karma, and I will see you next Friday.